Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this basic Ironbreaker guide to gearing up once you get to Tier 4. I've been asked this question dozens of times in the game, so I decided to make this video to explain what gear I use and what is the reason behind my choices. So right now I'm running full Annihilator. This is what I use, but it might not be the best, and it might not be what you can get right now. Um, and it's not like necessary. And just to show that, if we look at the stats here, like 650, 246, 350, 500, so basically 2, 3, 5, 6 here. Uh, with really good tally, plus 22, plus 22, and that's what I got everywhere. Armor tally right here. We're gonna compare with green vendor gear with cheap talisman, right? I use this one. These ones, they cost like 50 silver on the auction house. And just to compare, we're gonna equip this garbage armor from the vendor, and 2, 3, 4, 6, right? Nearly identical stats. Um, the main difference is here I lose about close to 100 toughness. But that's it. That's the only difference, right? Between both sets. Obviously, armor is going to be a bit lower than in full Annihilator, but it's not that big of a deal. Like 600 armor difference, it's there, but if you're just starting out, this can let you play really easily and you can be competitive with it, no problem there. The best set though that you can get if you're starting out in T4 is this right here. 3 pieces of Ruin, 2-piece Mercenary that you buy with emblems. Getting these 5 pieces should be really fast. You don't have to grind for weeks and weeks and weeks to get those. Basically, the mercenary gloves you can buy on the auction house for about 100 gold. The shoulders are 200-ish emblems, so 1 week of doing scenarios, probably less than that, and you get them. And the ruin piece you can get in a couple hours if you get lucky, little more if you're not. And if we compare the stats again, it will give better stats than the full Annihilator. If we check it out, right, we lose a little bit of strength, but the rest is pretty much like it's nearly identical. Um, the big difference here is we get a shit ton more armor with this setup than with Annie or with the green. Like it's 1,000 more armor than the green, and 400 something more than Annihilator. But we lose the resist. Annie provides 300 spirit resist that we lose right here. So it's a choice: 400 armor or 300 resist. It basically boils down to that, but this one is really easy to get. Full Annie takes a while. So that's it for the armor. For the jewels, I use wind impervious sets at all times. I never swap them out. I always use those 3 since I'm in tier 4. They take about 10 minutes to get. I'll post a link to Synesy's guide to PvE jewel sets. Super simple. The toughest part is killing like a level 35 champion. Everybody can do that. Super easy to get. 3 last piece, even as of today, I use basic stuff, green drops that you get in PvE. I bought them on the auction house. They are cheap, so enervating strength jewel, precursor cloak with strength, and precursor belt with strength. And I still use those today. Never swapped them out. Um, those are the ones I prefer. Some people here might want to use the parry ring. The talisman, you can use toughness, you can use armor, you can use strength, weapon skill, whatever floats your boat. Personally, I like this one because of the wounds and the spirit resist, but it is what it is. And so with this setup, especially the Winds Impervious set, it gives you really, really strong resist right here. And using this starting set with Pieces of Ruin and Mercenary, you want to use um, Spirit Resist Potion, so it will overcap, well, soft cap to your Spirit Resist at 840 something, and it will soft cap your Corp Resist while using Stubborn Stone, again at about 900. Um, and those are the two most important, so it's really good. If you go with Full Annihilator later down the road, once you get it, see what it gives. We see that our armor goes down, but the spirit resist goes up, and then I would use an armor pot because my spirit is already soft capped. And the core resist, same thing, gonna soft cap with stubborn stone. So that's it for the armor, the jewels, the cloak. Now for the weapon pot, we're gonna move to a different location and we're gonna actually test them weapons to see what the difference is in stats but also in DPS. So hang in there. We're just gonna port to another location and beat on some mobs. Alright, just before we get to the weapon, I just want to I realized that I forgot to explain why I chose these specific 5 pieces. Right, why the boots of ruin, the chest, and the helmet, and the mercenary, these two? The main reason is they all have wounds. All these pieces have wounds, and having high wounds when you solo play is really, really awesome. And when you're in group, it's also really good because you take a lot of guard damage and your healer like has more time, right, to heal the DPS and then come back to you. So that's why I prefer those 5 specific piece, but different mix can work too, no problem. You can use ruin gloves, the ruin gloves and mercenary helm or whatever you like. I just prefer those 5 exact pieces for the wounds. Now for the weapon, we're gonna start with the crappy one, the green vendor with bad talisman, and we're gonna test 2 things, right? I'm gonna taunt target those here tortured soul level 39. It's always gonna be the same. We're gonna test the auto attack, and then we're gonna test with heavy blow. We're gonna hit him until like for non-crits, so we're gonna compare non-crits between different weapons. So here comes the taunt. I'm gonna start with heavy blow and then wait for a crit. Second weapon we're gonna test is the Bad Moon Great Axe Influence weapon. It has the highest DPS, the highest strength, and really strong weapon skill. Same thing, taunt. Then we're gonna go auto attack and heavy blow. So auto attack 406, heavy blow 329. Alright, third weapon we're gonna test is the Scenario Hammer. Good crit, good AP, decent strength, right? Same mob, taunt, and auto attack, then heavy blow. So auto attack 371, and heavy blow 312. Final weapon we want to use, I'll equip it already, Earth Split, which in my mind is the best one, if only for the proc, right? Increased parry, evade, dodge, disrupt by 10%. It's always on because the chance is 25%. And we're gonna see what it does. Again, taunt to attack and heavy blow. So to attack 450, heavy blow 312. Alright, so for the conclusion of this test, we can see that Hurt Split has the highest auto attack of all, and the second, well, equal with the scenario weapon for ability damage. So personally, is the one I prefer the most. If we factor in the proc that gives parry, dodge, disrupt, so it kind of like maybe the best offensive weapon, but it's certainly the best defensive one. This the best offensive might be bad move, but it doesn't provide anything for defense. So yeah, I'd go with Earth Split. Plus, it's the one that's easier to get. You get it in Elf. I think the Elf Epic Quest. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but it's one of the T4 Epic Quest. So I'd definitely go for that for the weapon. And then the other two, you can mess around with them. They are both good. And that's it for this gear video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next vid.